Let's now look at question 2b of the 2022 Admin and IT paper. Now this is still on the database task, and the question is asking us to create and print a database report using the information below. And again, I've just left up here on the right hand side of the screen all the things that you may be asked to do when you're working with databases. Now there's two parts to this question actually. Although we know we have to do a report, it tells us, and at the end is also telling us to put in a suitable heading and a logo, we're having to search for information first in order to put that into the report. Again, the clue here is the word search the database to find those players whose golf handicap is unknown. We have to sort in alphabetical order of club name, but showing only the player's name and their mobile number. So all this information is important. So what we're going to do is a query first to find those players without the handicap, and then we're going to turn it into a report. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a query. So let's go to Create and then Query Design. And you'll see here that both tables are available to us. Now remember, this is a relational database and we are going to need both tables for this one. So I'm going to just drag clubs along and I'm going to drag players along. And again, you can see how they are linked by the club ID. And the reason why we need both of them for this question is because we have to sort alphabetically by club name, and the club name is in the club's table, but we've also got to show the player's name, their first name, their last name, their email, and whether or not their handicap is unknown. So we need to draw down fields from both tables. So if you look ahead and think, what do I have to show in my report, that can often help you decide what to bring down in your query. So we know we're going to have to sort alphabetically by club name. So let's just bring down club name. You can click and drag or just double click. I'll just double click, and that's the first thing we need. It does tell us actually that we have to show this sort alphabetically. So at this stage, I've got the sort option here. I might as well just sort this alphabetically, so ascending, and that's that bit dealt with. A report is going to have to show the player's name and their mobile number. So let's go to the players table and let's just bring down their title, their first name and their surname, and their email. That's got to go in the report, which will come later. And what we're specifically looking for is where the handicap is unknown. So let's double click on that. Now, if I was just to run this query, just to check what's happened here, I'll go in the query design into run. And I can see here, I've got information. I can see that my golf clubs are sorted alphabetically, which is fine. And I have here under handicap, there's quite a lot of people with an unknown. So let's go back into our query and let's go under criteria. We're looking for the word unknown. So let's just type that in. And then if we run it again, just to double check that we have everything that we need for our report, which we do. So let's just come out of that. If we just close it down, it will ask us to save it, and yes, and I think sometimes you're better off, rather than call it query 1, just call it something more meaningful. So let's say unknown handicap, like that, just to make it easier to find again. And let's click on OK. So if we go back into the query, we have it all there, and this is the information that we need for the report. Not all of it, mind, because it's asking the report to only be showing the player's name and their mobile number. So let's now have a look at how we can do the report. So the quickest way to create a database report is to go into Create and then Report Wizard. There are other ways to do it. You might have been shown a different way, but I'll go into Report Wizard and we'll do it step by step. Now you'll see here that my query is actually here ready to go. If I went to the drop down, it does actually show me the other tables I could do a report from, but it is the query that we want. Now, if you recall from the question, we don't need the club name, so we'll miss that one out, but we do want the title. Just click on the arrow. We want the first name and the surname and the email. We don't need to show the handicap. The question only asks for their name and their email. So these are the 4 fields I'm going to bring in to my report. Click on Next. Do we want any grouping? No, I want the report just to show me the title, the first name, surname, and the email. That's fine. Click on Next. Do we want to sort? I'm not sure. Let's just quickly double check. So in the question, it's not actually telling us how it wants the player name sorted, so we'll just leave it for now. So let's click on Next again. And this is just really how you want your report to look. Well, the tabular format looks fine. If you click on columnar, you'll see the different ways of the reports. But tabular, we'll leave it there. Click on Next. Now, it says here to make sure there's a suitable title, unknown handicap. That could be fine. You might want to add in, I don't know, sort of golfer details maybe, but just something, even unknown handicap I think would be okay, but just make sure that the report heading makes sense, the title makes sense, and then we'll finish. So here we have the report. That looks absolutely fine. Let's just close the print preview window. And the only other thing we were asked to do was to insert the logo into the report header at the right hand side. So if I click on Insert Image, and you need to find wherever you've saved this image, just click on it, and then I'm just going to kind of position it the right hand side of where I think would work. That looks not too bad. If I want to check, I can go into View, Report View, and have a look. And now we have the finished report.